Dear Starseeds, what if the exhaustion you've been feeling for the past 6 months wasn't weakness, but your soul's way of telling you that you've been living in the wrong garden? What if that relationship or situation you've been desperately trying to make work on was actually designed to fail from the very beginning, written into your soul contract as a temporary teaching, not a permanent home? Today, a light switch is flipping in your consciousness, and what you're about to see will change everything about the path you thought you were walking. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, bringing you a transmission about 3 specific things happening in your reality right now. First, you're realizing you've been uprooted from your authentic ground. Second, a conversation is approaching that will reset your entire foundation. And third, there's a love waiting on your horizon that can't arrive until you replant yourself in your own truth. These aren't separate events. They're interconnected pieces of a divine orchestration that's been in motion for months, all leading to this exact moment of revelation. For the past 3 to 6 months, you've been wandering through what we call the forest of possibilities. Picture yourself walking through a mystical woodland with multiple pathways branching in every direction. You knew which path was yours. You've always known, but something compelled you to explore the others. Not because you were lost, but because your soul needed to gather specific information that could only be obtained by walking paths that weren't meant for you. This wandering wasn't weakness, it was research. And today the research phase ends. There's something you've been trying to make fit in your life. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's a living situation, or a commitment you made when you were a different version of yourself. Whatever it is, it's been 90% aligned with what you want, which seemed good enough, seemed workable, seemed like something you could live with. But that missing 10%, that seemingly small fraction of misalignment, it's been slowly draining your life force, pulling your roots from the ground, making you forget who you really are beneath all the compromise. You've been experiencing physical symptoms that you might not have connected to this spiritual misalignment. The exhaustion that feels bone deep, the sense that you're operating at half capacity, the foggy thinking that makes you question your own intuition. Some of you have even been experiencing itching sensations, like you're trying to shed old skin but can't quite complete the process. Your body has been screaming the truth while your mind kept trying to rationalize why you should stay in situations that were slowly killing your authentic self. Here's what the cosmos hasn't revealed until now, and this is going to shift your entire perspective on what's been happening. That person or situation you've been pouring yourself into. They needed your light for a very specific period of time, and you agreed to this before you incarnated. But the contract had an expiration date that you're just now approaching. Your higher self has been preparing you for this ending by gradually increasing your discomfort, making it impossible to ignore that something fundamental isn't working anymore. The forest you've been wandering in represents all the different timelines you could have chosen, all the various versions of yourself you could have become if you'd fully committed to paths that weren't truly yours. But the wandering time is over now. The cosmic energies of October 15th are creating what we call timeline convergence, where all those possible selves collapse back into one authentic you. This convergence is why you're suddenly seeing everything with such painful clarity, why the fog that's kept you confused for months is finally lifting. Something else is building that I need to tell you about. There's a conversation coming. Maybe in days, maybe in hours, maybe it's already started forming in your mind as you rehearse what you need to say. This isn't just any conversation. It's what we call a root chakra reckoning, where you'll speak truth so fundamental that it literally reorganizes your energetic foundation. You've been practicing this conversation in your head, running through scenarios, trying to find words that won't hurt while still honoring your truth. But here's what you don't know yet about this approaching conversation. The other person or people involved, they're expecting it. On a soul level, they've been preparing too. They've felt the shift in your energy, noticed your roots pulling back from shared soil, sensed that something irreversible is changing. The conversation you're dreading might actually bring relief to everyone involved, though it might not look like relief at first. Sometimes liberation comes disguised as loss, and freedom arrives dressed as grief. You keep trying to find a way to hold on to what you have while also reclaiming yourself, but the universe is about to show you that these are mutually exclusive options. You can't plant your roots in 2 gardens simultaneously. You can't speak your truth while protecting everyone from feeling uncomfortable. You can't step into your power while making yourself small enough to fit in spaces that were never designed for your magnitude. The choice that's approaching isn't really a choice at all. It's an inevitability that you've been postponing. The physical space around you has been reflecting this inner transformation. Some of you have been feeling compelled to completely reorganize your living space, getting rid of furniture that suddenly feels wrong, changing color schemes that no longer resonate, even considering relocating entirely. This isn't random restlessness. It's your external reality trying to match the internal shift that's already happened. You're literally making space for something new by clearing out what no longer belongs in your field. If this message is hitting deep in your bones right now, if you're feeling that mixture of recognition and resistance, hype this video so other starseeds who are wandering in their own forests can find their way to this truth. Because what you're going through isn't just personal, it's part of a collective awakening happening across the planet right now, and your courage to face your truth makes it easier for others to face theirs. The love that's waiting for you on the horizon, and yes, I can see it clearly in your timeline. It's not like anything you've experienced before. Picture two horses in a vast field. You're one horse, standing still, held in place by invisible ropes of obligation and compromise. The other horse, representing this incoming love or aligned connection, is moving steadily forward on the horizon, not looking back, trusting that when you're ready, when you've freed yourself from what binds you, you'll naturally catch up and walk alongside them. This future connection won't require you to uproot yourself, because it will celebrate your roots exactly where they're planted. It won't silence your voice, because it will want to hear everything you have to say. It won't dim your light because it will need your full brightness to recognize you. But, and this is crucial, this connection cannot enter your field while you're energetically occupied with maintaining something that's draining you. The universe doesn't deal in partial commitments when it comes to aligned love. What you might not realize is that your voice carries specific frequency codes that other people need to receive right now. Every time you've held back from speaking your truth, every time you've swallowed your words to keep the peace, you've literally been withholding medicine that someone needed. Your authentic expression isn't just about you feeling heard. It's about transmitting frequencies that activate something in others. When you speak from your roots, from your core truth, you become a tuning fork that helps others find their own authentic frequency. The pattern you're about to break has been running through your lineage for generations. Your ancestors faced similar moments of choosing between authentic expression and comfortable compromise, and many of them chose compromise. But you're the one who was selected, who volunteered really, to be the pattern breaker, the cycle ender, the one who says no more. When you have this conversation, when you set this boundary, when you choose yourself, you're not just healing your own timeline, you're healing ancestral wounds that have been waiting for someone brave enough to choose differently. There's something about your throat chakra that needs immediate attention. You might have been experiencing tightness, coughing, or the sensation of words getting stuck. This is because there's literally an energetic logjam of unexpressed truths building up in your throat. The conversation that's coming isn't just going to clear this blockage, it's going to open a channel of expression that's been dormant, possibly your entire life. Once this channel opens, you'll never again be able to pretend that staying quiet is an option. The person or situation you're releasing, here's something that will completely change how you see this. They need you to let go as much as you need to let them go. Your presence, as loving and supportive as it's been, has actually been preventing them from facing their own growth edges. By holding on, you're not helping them. You're enabling them to avoid their own necessary evolution. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step away and let someone find their own strength. October's cosmic energies are specifically designed to support truth-telling and foundation breaking. Today's aspects, with Mars squaring the Moon, are creating productive tension that makes it impossible to maintain false harmony. Think of it like labor pains. Uncomfortable but necessary for birthing something new. The discomfort you're feeling isn't punishment. It's the universe's way of making staying the same more painful than changing. This is divine compassion disguised as cosmic pressure. Your intuition has been trying to tell you this truth for months, hasn't it? Late at night, in quiet moments, when your mental defenses are down, you've known exactly what needs to happen. You've seen the ending coming like a slow-motion train, and part of you has been grieving it even while you've been trying to prevent it. This isn't failure of faith or lack of commitment. This is your higher wisdom preparing you for an inevitable transition that serves everyone's highest good. The exhaustion you've been feeling has a very specific cause that goes beyond just emotional drain. When you try to root yourself in soil that can't nourish your particular essence, your energy literally starts leaking out into the environment around you. You've been hemorrhaging life force trying to maintain something that was always meant to be temporary. Once you pull your roots back to your own sacred ground, you'll feel vitality returning that you'd forgotten was even possible. Here's what changes everything about your current situation. You entered into this experience with full soul awareness that it would end. Before you incarnated, you agreed to this exact scenario, including its expiration date. The human part of you forgot this agreement, got attached, started believing it could last forever. But your soul has been gently, then not so gently, reminding you that this was always meant to be a chapter, not the whole book, a season, not a lifetime. The clarity that's hitting you right now. This isn't a temporary awakening that will fade. This is a permanent upgrade to your consciousness, a new operating system that makes it impossible to accept partial alignment ever again. From this moment forward, you'll be able to feel immediately when something isn't fully right for you. This might feel like a burden now, but it's actually the greatest gift. Your soul's way of ensuring you never again waste years trying to make wrong things right. There's something happening with your root chakra that directly connects to the conversation you're about to have. Your root chakra has been destabilized because you've literally been trying to root in someone else's garden. The approaching conversation isn't just about speaking the truth. It's about replanting yourself in your own energetic territory. When you speak from this place of reclaiming your ground, your words will carry an authority that bypasses all resistance and lands directly in truth. The resistance you're feeling to letting go. Let's talk about what that really is. It's not actually fear of being alone or starting over. It's your ego's last attempt to convince you that you can somehow have both authentic alignment and comfortable compromise. Your ego thinks if you just try harder, communicate better, or sacrifice a little more, you can make this work. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows that some things aren't meant to be fixed. They're meant to be released. You've been shape-shifting for so long, trying to fit into spaces that require you to be smaller, quieter, less powerful than you really are. You've gotten so good at this shape-shifting that you've almost forgotten your true form. But here's what's beautiful. Your authentic shape has been preserved, waiting patiently beneath all the contortions. The moment you stop trying to fit where you don't belong, your true form will naturally reassert itself, and it will be more magnificent than you remembered. The new things trying to enter your life, new connections, new opportunities, new experiences, they're already gathered at your doorway, waiting, but they can't enter while your space is full of what doesn't belong there. Think of it like furniture in a room. You can't bring in the new sofa while the old one is still taking up space. The universe operates on simple physics when it comes to energy. Clear the old to make room for the new. It's that straightforward. Something profound is happening with your sense of time right now. You might feel like you're running out of time to make this work, or conversely like you have all the time in the world to decide. Both sensations are illusions. The truth is, the timeline has already shifted. On a quantum level, the change has already happened. What you're experiencing now is just your physical reality catching up with what's already been decided in the quantum field. This is why fighting it feels so exhausting. Your body has been preparing for this transition in ways you haven't consciously noticed. Changes in sleep patterns, appetite, even the types of foods you're craving, all of these are your body's way of preparing for an energetic shift. Some of you have been drawn to completely different self-care routines, new forms of movement, or finding yourself repelled by things you used to enjoy. Trust these impulses. Your body knows how to prepare for rebirth even when your mind is still resisting. The conversation that's approaching will require you to be more vulnerable than you've perhaps ever been. You'll stand there metaphorically naked, without the armor of pretense or the shield of people-pleasing. This vulnerability feels dangerous to your ego, but it's actually your greatest strength. When you speak from this place of raw authenticity, you become untouchable in the most profound way. No one can hurt you when you're standing in your complete truth, because there's nothing to attack. Here's something crucial about the other people involved in your situation. They've been feeling the shift too. They've noticed your energy pulling back, felt the distance growing even when you're physically present. On some level, they're not surprised by what's coming. They might resist initially, might try to convince you to stay, but deep down, they know this isn't working either. Your courage to name the truth gives them permission to acknowledge what they've been feeling too. The signs have been everywhere, haven't they? Synchronicities showing you the path forward, repeated numbers appearing when you think about leaving, songs playing with lyrics that speak directly to your situation. The universe has been desperately trying to get your attention, to show you that you're supported in this transition. Every sign you've noticed but dismissed, every intuitive hit you've rationalized away, they've all been preparing you for this moment of choice. Your throat chakra and third eye are linking up right now in a way that's creating what we call a truth channel. This means that when you speak, you won't just be sharing words, you'll be transmitting frequency. The conversation that's coming isn't really about the words you'll say, it's about the frequency you'll embody when you say them. When you speak from aligned truth, the universe itself backs your words with power that can't be denied or resisted. The grief you're going to feel when you let this go, let me tell you what it really is. It's not grief for what you're losing, because deep down you know you're not losing anything real. It's grief for who you were before you knew better, for the version of you who thought partial alignment was enough, who believed you could make anything work if you just tried hard enough. You're grieving an outdated version of yourself, and that's a sacred process that deserves to be honored. There's a specific type of love waiting for you that can only find you when you're planted in your own truth. This isn't romantic fantasy or wishful thinking. This is quantum physics meeting divine timing. When you're rooted in your authentic ground, you emit a specific frequency that can only be recognized by those who resonate at that same level. The love that's coming won't require you to translate yourself or explain your depths. It will recognize you immediately and completely. The financial or practical concerns that might be holding you back from making this change, let's address those directly. The universe has already arranged solutions to every practical obstacle, but these solutions only become visible when you commit to the change. It's like a bridge that only appears when you take the first step. The resources, opportunities, and support you need are already in motion, waiting for your commitment to activate them into manifestation. Your ancestors are watching this moment with deep investment. Generations of your lineage faced similar choices and chose the safer path, the compromise, the settling. They're not judging themselves or you. They're cheering you on, hoping you'll be the one to choose differently. When you break this pattern, you literally free them too. Time isn't linear in the quantum field, so your choice now ripples both backward and forward, healing timelines in both directions. Something specific is happening with your DNA right now. The courage to choose yourself, to speak your truth, to replant your roots, it's actually activating dormant codes in your genetic structure. These codes have been waiting for exactly this frequency of self-selection to come online. Once activated, they'll give you abilities you didn't know you had, strengths you didn't know you possessed, clarity that will make future choices effortless compared to this one. The old version of you, the one who accepted less than full alignment, that version is literally dying right now. You might feel this as waves of sadness, moments of panic, or even physical sensations of loss. This is normal. This is necessary. You can't birth a new self without letting the old one die. But here's the beauty. Nothing real is ever lost. Every lesson learned, every growth achieved, every love genuinely given and received, all of it gets integrated into your new form. The practical steps that need to happen after the conversation, after the choice, after letting go, they'll unfold with surprising ease. You've been imagining it will be harder than it actually will be. Once you make the energetic shift, once you commit to your truth, the physical reality rearranges itself with shocking efficiency. Things that seemed impossible will suddenly have obvious solutions. Paths that were hidden will suddenly be illuminated. Your guides have been working overtime to prepare the path ahead for you. They've been arranging synchronicities, placing people in your path who will help, opening doors that were previously locked. But they can't force you to walk through those doors. Free will is the prime directive. They can only prepare the way and wait for you to choose. The moment you choose yourself, you'll feel their presence more strongly, their support more tangibly. Here's what the conversation will actually feel like when it happens. Your voice might shake at first, but then something will shift. You'll feel your roots dropping deep into the earth, your spine straightening, your truth rising from your core. The words will come not from your mind, but from your soul. And even if there's initial resistance or upset from others, you'll feel a peace that surpasses understanding, because you'll finally be in alignment with your truth. The timeline split that's happening right now in your life isn't just personal. You're part of a collective group of souls who all agreed to make these brave choices at this time. October 2025 was marked in your soul contracts as a moment of mass awakening, when those ready to step into authentic power would be given the opportunity. Your individual choice to honor your truth contributes to a collective shift that's upgrading human consciousness itself. After the conversation, after the choice, after you've replanted yourself in your own ground, you're going to experience what we call the integration phase. This might feel like a void at first, an empty space where the old used to be, and the new hasn't quite arrived yet. Don't mistake this void for loss. It's the fertile darkness where new things germinate. It's the sacred pause between exhale and inhale. It's the necessary space for transformation. Your creative powers are about to explode once you're no longer leaking energy into misaligned situations. Projects you've been putting off, dreams you've been deferring, aspects of yourself you've been suppressing, they're all going to come flooding back with intensity that might surprise you. You've been operating at maybe 30% of your creative capacity. When you reclaim your energy, you'll discover capabilities you didn't even know were possible. The physical changes coming to your body once you make this shift will be noticeable. The exhaustion will lift like fog burning off in morning sun. Your eyes will become brighter, your skin clearer, your whole presence more vibrant. People will ask what you've done differently, but you won't be able to explain that you've simply stopped betraying yourself. You've stopped abandoning your own soul. You've stopped trying to grow in the wrong garden. Something magical happens when you choose yourself in this way. You become a beacon, a lighthouse for others who are lost in their own forests of compromise. Without saying a word about it, your very presence will give others permission to examine their own misalignments. Your courage becomes contagious. Your clarity becomes a gift to everyone around you. This is how we change the world, one brave choice at a time. The future self who's waiting for you on the other side of this choice wants me to tell you something. They want you to know that every fear you have about letting go is unfounded. They want you to know that life becomes so much easier when you're not constantly fighting against your own truth. They want you to know that the love and connection you're afraid of losing will be replaced by something so much more nourishing that you'll wonder how you ever settled for less. If you need help letting go of unfounded fears and stopping the fight against your own truth, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to align with your future self who's already living the easier, more nourishing reality. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed fear of letting go and repurposing it to serve your alignment with truth. It generates personalized sequences that help you release unfounded fears and embody the knowing that something more nourishing is waiting. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to stop fighting your truth and start receiving what's more nourishing. Your future self is waiting and the nourishing reality is ready. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this alignment window closes. Link in the description. As this transmission nears completion, feel into your body right now. Feel where the truth of these words is landing. Your bones know what needs to happen. Your blood knows. Your breath knows. It's only your mind that's still trying to negotiate with reality. But even your mind is getting tired of the mental gymnastics required to justify staying in misalignment. Even your thoughts are ready for the relief that comes with accepting what is. The light switch that flipped at the beginning of this message, it can never be turned off again. The clarity that's dawning, it's permanent. The truth you're seeing, it's undeniable. You can try to resist it for a while longer, but resistance is exhausting, and you're already so tired. Why not let yourself fall into the truth? Why not let yourself be caught by your own authenticity? Why not finally choose yourself? Remember the questions I asked at the beginning, about whether your exhaustion was actually your soul's warning, about whether that situation was designed to fail. You know the answers now. You've always known them. The wandering through the forest, the trying to make things fit, the slow drain of your life force, it was all perfectly orchestrated to bring you to this moment of choosing. And now the choice is yours. But really, hasn't the choice already been made? The conversation is coming. The truth will be spoken, The roots will be replanted. The new love will arrive. The creative powers will explode. The ancestors will celebrate. The timeline will shift. Everything I've told you is already in motion, already decided in the quantum field. All that remains is for you to align with what your soul already knows. All that remains is for you to come home to yourself. Welcome back to your truth, Starseed. Welcome back to your power. Welcome back to the life that's been patiently waiting for you to be brave enough to claim it. The forest wandering is over. Your true path is clear. Your roots know where they belong. And I, Seraphine, celebrate the courage it takes to choose yourself in a world that taught you to choose everyone else first. We love you, and we are watching over you.